The 418 Project Movement Arts Center presents the 2012 Next Frontier artist, Juliebeth Ingraham, offering her debut dance, music, and song performance titled 3 Weeks, My Father's Last Dance. The show shares her father's last lesson. The performance opens Friday, October 12th, and runs through Sunday, October 21st at the 418 Project. And that's located at the 418 Front Street, Santa Cruz. For more information, visit the418.org. Tickets are available at brownpapertickets.com. And it's my very, very wonderful pleasure to introduce Julie Ingraham here in the studio. Hi, Julie. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
This is a great pleasure, and this is the first Artist on Art show that I've had in... it's 4 months now. Took the summer quarter off, and this is a really exciting show. Plus, you are a local. You're a UCSC alum in the dance program, right?
Well, I graduated with a BA in sociology, but I spent most of my time in the dance studio, mostly in the Oper's multi-purpose room. I took a lot of classes with Rena Coughlin and Lisa Norris and Robin Buck.
And you stayed after graduating?
I did. I did a bit of traveling and returned in 2009. And I went to massage school and then ended up working for Happy Boy Farms and continued dancing in the community.
How wonderful.
Yeah.
And so tell us, what is it to be the 2012 Next Frontier artist?
It's incredibly exciting. It's the first time I've ever choreographed a full-length show, and throughout the entire process, I was struggling with traveling back and forth to Pennsylvania and California to caregive for my father. And so originally the show was inspired by loving someone with terminal illness, and I didn't know, taking on this project, that I would be processing the death of my father as well.
My condolences, Julie.
Thank you.
Beth.
And yeah, it tremendously shifted my show. I was really grateful to have a composer named Willis.
And Wireless is here in the studio as well. Wireless, welcome to Artist on Art.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Oh, can you say that again? Sorry.
Hello, thanks for having me.
All right. That's number 4, I see. Let me get that. I'll get that going. Don't worry. Here we go. Go ahead. Try it again, Wireless.
Hey. Hi, how are you doing?
Great.
Okay.
I'm doing fabulous. I got the mics working and everything. And so Wireless, Juliebeth, composed a whole new musical theatrical performance. Is that right?
Well, sure, yeah. It sprung from the moment of working together. It composed itself, really. It just kind of between us organically, yeah.
So the few minutes that we spoke before the show, Juliebeth, you made a remark that I thought was very interesting. You felt like one of the best parts of the process of doing this show has been the collaboration. Would you mind talking to us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So the history of creating choreography for me has been working with already composed music. So there's this set time, 3 minutes and 30 seconds of this music, and so you kind of choreograph to that template. Whereas working with Wireless, I'm able to really hone in on the emotional content of the movement and not worry about the sound, and we're able to collaborate and create the sound and movement together. And just really make it clear as to what we're really wanting to show and illustrate.
So giving the emotional impulse its entire need of time. And Wireless, Lovebird, how long were you together working on this?
Well, this is the first time that we've worked together on this grand a scale, this long a piece. I think we've done little vignettes. She used to be in classes that I played for at the UC with Rena and with Lisa and Robin. But no, it's been a great process. She's really a joy to work with, and I can be kind of taciturn and a little bit stern and a little bit and she's very, very one of the most gentle people I've ever created something with, and it's really a joy. But
so how much time have you spent?
Oh gosh, I guess 3 months. How long ago has it been?
It's been about 4 months that we've been really focused.
I guess, yeah.
4 months. And so, Juliebeth, did you have movements and emotional? Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you approached the choreography of your show, 3 Weeks, My Father's Last Dance?
How did I approach it? Well, I was volunteering at Jacob's Heart for summer camp. And so working with the children and moving with the children, I got a lot of inspiration from them. And then also just tapping into my own process of grief and really honoring that movement. And also a lot of the choreography stems from relationships and how we interact with one another and how we affect one another. So really it's just inspired by being in the world and just watching how we interact with each other.
Now, there's another dancer that dances with you. Can you tell us about her?
Claire Melbourne. There are actually a total of 7 dancers. Claire is my artistic director. She and I have been dancing together for over 6 years.
Wow.
It's been a pleasure to work with her. And she actually was in one of my first full-length pieces at UCSC for Random with a Purpose. And that piece is actually about when my father was first diagnosed with cancer. And so it's just been really special to share this journey with her. And yeah.
Now, does she play your mother?
Well, so all the dancers play multiple roles in the show, so they kind of shift throughout.
I see. And
show.
So, do you yourself play people in your family?
I would say for the most part, I play multiple roles. I play myself. I play the role of a doctor. I take on illness and treatment and all sorts of different roles. Yeah.
So this is a auditory medium that is radio, and so for somebody to try to imagine what your dance might look like, would you be able to try to describe, let's say, one moment in the piece that you're just totally in love with, or there's something that really strikes you that you can maybe describe for us right now?
The first thing that comes to mind is the anti-hug, is how I would describe it. Well, Claire Melbourne and I, we opened the show with a piece called Walking Down the Street. And the movement signifies just this apprehension and unknowingness of how to approach someone who is terminally ill. It shifts your relationship. And so it's this very gradual process of relearning how to hug and interact with one another.
So that you don't hurt them?
So you don't hurt them or yourself, because you know that time is limited, and there's a lot of layers that happen when dealing with a situation as such.
And you are listening to Artist on Art. I am your host, Nada Milkovich, and your guest this week is Juliebeth Ingraham and her musical composer, Willis Lovebird. We're here to talk about the premiere of her first full-length dance called 3 Weeks, My Father's Last Dance. And this is an original dance performance with original music made, again, composed by Willis Lovebird. And it will be happening October 12th, 13th, 19th, and 20th, and Sunday, October 21st. The dates, October 12th, 13th, 19th, and 20th, are at 8 p.m. And then on Sunday, October 21st, it's at 7 p.m. And these are all at the 418 Project, which is on 418 Front Street here in Santa Cruz. For more information, you'll want to get your tickets early. It's please call 831-466-9770 or go to their website and info@the418.org. If you want to make a tax-free donation to support this show, please visit the 418 Project and mark your donation for Juliebeth. And this would also help your time that you've been as the New Frontier artist.
Mm-hmm.
And do you feel like taking this out on the road? Do you see a future for it?
We'll see what happens. At the time, I feel incredibly exhausted. But I feel so blessed to be working with such an amazing group of dancers. They're incredibly athletic and supportive and dedicated. And yeah, I'm feeling really good about it.
And so, Juliebeth, it's actually premiering tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. I'm so honored that you had the time to come up here. That's pretty amazing, because I know how those last moments are precious, when the rehearsal and the dancing and getting it all together. So let's see, Juliebeth, you were starting to tell us about this hug, anti-hug. Can you describe what that movement is like in the performance?
Do you feel like...
What kind of music do you play with that moment, Wireless?
It's a long build, very simple, but the structure of the music is very simple. But it's a long build from a slow tempo to a high tempo right before resolution, and kind of going to the 5. If I have to talk in music terms, I guess, for a moment, but.
Go into the 5.
Go into the 5. That's a place that you hang out. Well, when you go to the 5, that means you're just about to go to the 1, or there's a heightened tendency to want to resolve to the 1, to the root. So I'm hanging out a lot in the 5 and places with lots of tension, I guess, is building in that moment.
Okay, so Juliebeth, how are you creating this tension with you and Claire?
How are we creating it?
What are you doing? Are you running around each other?
No, so before this happens, there's a moment of separation. We're on the opposite sides of the stage, and we're coming together, and there's just a slow build of a glance at one another, and then just reaching out to try and touch them, and then there's the slow hug motion, and it just builds to a full embrace, and then a meltdown to the floor.
Resolution.
And how much time goes by during this process? Oh my
goodness, I don't even. It feels kind of timeless.
Time stands still for me while performing it.
I get lost in it too a little bit.
Maybe at least
5 minutes, 10 minutes.
No.
3 minutes.
Hours.
That would be excruciating.
Maybe a minute.
30 seconds to a minute.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so, for a full length piece, how many of these moments do you have? How did you write the story?
How did I write the story? Well, so the first half is mostly the build up to this acknowledgement of going to hospice. So it's a lot of, there's a hospital scene, and there's a piece that deals with neuropathy, which is nerve damage, and that's definitely the turning point in the show. There's a huge build up of, what would you say?
Emotion. There's emotional swell to that point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
the second half is more focused on looking to the light and acknowledging transition, and actually going through the transition of passing away. And it ends with the process of grief and the emotions involved with grief. And the overall goal for me for the show is just to acknowledge and normalize grief and how it happens. It's an ebb and flow. You never can predict grief, or how it will trigger, or if it's a sound or a smell, or just something you see. And so that's definitely one of my points, is to inspire that it's a process. It changes your life when you lose someone you love.
Oh, Juliebeth, that's wonderful. I mean, it's wonderful that you're giving the space for people to work through these emotions that kind of in American society are, people don't want to talk about it. It's hard. It's hard for us, you know.
Yeah.
And there are older cultures in the world that have a definite, you know, traditional kind of ritual that goes with it, and we're kind of, you know, so individual in our culture here that we don't have. I mean, some of them, there are some traditions like the Irish wake and the big party, and you know, there are some of those. Some of us are blessed with these kind of strong, you know, this is what you do when it happens. But in general, it seems like we really don't know how to help each other go through grief, how to go through grief ourselves. And do you see this piece as a type of catharsis for people?
It definitely it has been for some of the performers, and for those that have watched the show coming along, there have been tears shed, and
Yeah. So it's not a total downer.
It's not a total downer.
Okay.
Oh, no, no, not at all.
It's I want to illuminate how death can be our ally.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wow. That's really a deep understanding for someone so young, Juliebeth, who you are listening to Artist on Art, and we're talking with Juliebeth Ingraham about her upcoming tomorrow night premiere of the original dance performance, 3 weeks, My Father's Last Dance. She is the 418 Project's new frontier artist and program director. This has been going on for a few years here at the 418 Project, and this year we got to have Juliebeth, who's also an alum here at UCSC, and Wireless Lovebird, who composed the original score for 3 weeks, My Father's Last Dance. If you have any information, if you want to find out more about how you can get your tickets and be involved, the number is 831-466-9770. And so the performance dates are this weekend, starting Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Next Friday and Saturday at 8 p.m. and then Sunday, October 21st at 7 p.m. Juliebeth, do you see yourself being inspired to continue as a dance choreographer and do more of these type of full length?
I do. I am incredibly grateful for the 418 Project. They've been incredibly supportive in ways I can't describe, and I've learned so many things throughout the process. How to cast, how to write a PSA and a press release, and all sorts of things.
So the business side, that's the program director part of it, huh?
Right, and it's incredibly, it's important things to know and learn, because I was completely unaware of that skill set. But on the dance choreographer side, I want to dance forever.
Yay.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. And will you be staying around here, or do you see...
I will be staying for at least another year, probably. We'll see where I go.
Great. Well, I sure hope you can come back on and tell us what you're doing next. That would be great. And Wireless, do you still work here up at UC?
I do still work here, yeah.
And you do music for the dance department?
I played a couple ballet classes today, yeah.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah, it is. It's a joy to be able to have that constant synergy with people that are working on their craft, and I get to work on my craft and in the same place and feel mutually supportive.
So what were some of the instruments that you used to get the sounds that you were looking for? I'm interested in how you two collaborated with these emotions.
Well, all
and
kinds
movements.
All kinds of different, I guess mostly orbiting around the piano, but there's all sorts of bells and chimes, but we have a metal bowl, we have a bottle of pills that's a shaker, I have an ankle bracelet that has a pill-like sound, little film canisters filled with ball bearings, but what else is there?
So a lot of percussion.
There are a couple pieces in a couple vignettes in the show that are working with percussion right now.
There's There's also the bike pump.
And the bike pump, that's right.
Yeah.
You'll have to come to find where that bike pump.
That kind of thing?
Absolutely.
I can't wait to see it.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's going to be fabulous.
Yeah.
Juliebeth Ingram, you came up with this idea because of the process that you've been through. Do you feel yourself having been able to, I mean, you never know how it's changed you to do this process, but do you see any insights that have been able to help you through the process of creating this dance grieve a little easier or go through the process a little more?
I'm definitely dance definitely is my go-to for like therapy. It's my main medium of expression. So it's been almost a blessing in so many ways, but also challenging because the choreography, every time I go to perform, I have to go into that space and, constantly recirculate those ideas and live through them through dancing. So in a way, it's hard, but I feel really present in my grief, and it's also been really, I feel supported by my dancers, and it's been really fantastic to share that space with them and for all of us to kind of ease through the grief process together.
Will you have any family members that will get to see this dance?
Yeah, my mother is actually flying out next week, and she'll
wonderful.
be staying with me. Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be really bittersweet, like fabulous, like sad, like full of emotion.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a little nervous about it, but I think it'll be really beautiful for us to share.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And so you've been listening to another Artist on Art show. We're coming to our end at this new time on Thursday nights from 7 to 7:30 p.m. right after the KPFA news. Tonight we got to speak with Juliebeth Ingraham, the 418 Project's next frontier artist and program dancer, choreographer. And then we also got to speak with Wireless Lovebird, who collaboratively created the music that goes with composed the music that goes with the dance. And you will be able to see the show yourself. The performance dates start tomorrow night, October 12th, Friday, and 13th, Saturday, and then October 19th and 20th, Friday and Saturday at 8 p.m., and then Sunday, October 21st at 7 p.m. at the 418 Project, which is aptly named because it's at 418 Front Street in Santa Cruz. And if you want more information, please call 831-466-9770. You will have to get tickets. And I wish you the best. Thank you so much for sharing it. It's really amazing that you're sharing this and bringing this to our community. And I think it's gonna be wonderful. And thank you so much, Juliebeth.
Thank you for having us.
Hey, my pleasure. Please stay tuned, because up next is this really fun other show called Gamers on Game, and we're going to have fun talking with Wes Modes in a little bit. Sit back and enjoy a little Talking Heads here.